Hey folks, it's Mark here from the Australian DeFi Association, and I just wanted to share with you something new that we are working on. As you can see here, we've got a new website. This will be released in the coming days. It replaces the old website, so you'll still get the information that you used to have before, but just presented in a new format, plus some new information such as us being able to share our 3-year journey. Can you believe it was the end of 2021 when we got started, way back when we weren't even doing meetups? There's resources where you can see things like different data sets that you can go to. You've got the safety areas as well. So all about those tools that you can use and resources to see what's going on and to help keep you safe. We've got a new thing called education, which has different sorts of just basics in terms of education there. So from getting introduced and started into what is blockchain, how blockchains and all that kind of stuff work, all the way down to what is real world asset tokenization and getting into some of the details there. So some interesting insights there. And we've also got some diagrams as well of just a few of the basics there. So decentralization versus centralization, public and private keys, smart contracts, etc., etc. There's the discussion forum, which takes you back to the Discord. And then you've also got the community area where you've got events, which goes to the Luma. We've got partners here as well, and we thank all our partners for those that are helping us out. And then there's also membership. So there is going to be a membership portal, but that doesn't mean that you aren't going to get some value from this site. So in the age of AI, and given that us founders that behind this, we work in that space, we thought we would bring some of that to the portal here. So what you can see is that we've got a DeFi expert where I can type in questions. So tell me about the cool things in liquid restaking, for example. And you see some answers there. And a great thing is that you can ask it, tell me about this as if I am 10 years old, because it gives it to you in a way that is much easier to understand, and then you can expand on these thoughts from there. So that's cool. Now, if I ask it about something that is, tell me about AI, that is not in its set of knowledge, it's not going to answer that. So it is a bot that will just be there for DeFi. There's an RWA specialist. We'll add other specialists as well. And then there's these two things, which are meetup insights. So you basically select the meetup. So let's go to September for Sydney. Tell me about this meetup. And it will go search its database and give you info that you can dive into further about what was spoken about at this meetup. So you can see that there. So you can go back and forth with it. We've also got the podcast as well. So some of the recent podcasts. Let's go to Andrew from Cloud Tech. So tell me about Andrew. And it will go into the details here about what was said during the podcast, if there was a bit of background. So you can see the information here. We can go back and forth. Give me some quotes from the podcast from Andrew, for example. So let's have a look at that. So here's some of the things that he said, gives a bit of a header as well as the quote. So really interesting insights and stuff there. So well worth checking those out. These are free to use. They are there for you. You've also got all the other links here. If you're interested in the members portal, there is going to be a form. I'll probably just have this as email only rather than having all of the details that you see on here. But when you click on this, you'll be able to actually go into the mailing list. We'll be inviting a whole heap of existing members out as well. And there's going to be more details on what is going to be in the membership forum, the members only portal that is for OzDeFi. But for now, it's Mark here from OzDeFi. I hope to see you soon. Bye. Okay, so we're back here on the AI Insights page, and you can get to that from the discussion drop down. I'm here in the meetups one because I wanted to show you just a few things that you can do. So I've got the August one selected from Sydney because that was the one where we had some international guests. So tell me about Audrey and Glenn, and it'll dive into that and give you some more details here. So you can see it was Audrey and Glenn Whale. Arturo was the one that was there interviewing them. So really interesting insights. What is plurality? Because that was a topic that was discussed there. So they've got details here, some historical concepts, etc. Tell me about what was discussed on plurality in the meetup. So let's dive into that. And we can see here how it was explained from democratic engagement, Taiwan's experience, collaboration across differences, etc. So in terms of Taiwan's experience, let's dive into that more. Tell me more about Taiwan's experience. And you can see how you can dive in further. And this just gives you another way to interact with the meetups if you weren't able to attend, or even if you were able to attend, you can go into things further. You can do things like I work in, let's say, consulting in the finance industry, for example. So you could put anything, for you. Tell me about what parts of this meetup would have been relevant for me. I'm just going to copy that because we'll use that in the podcast one as well. So here's the things that are relevant for you, given that you are in consulting in the finance industry. So that's what we can do there. Let's have a look over at the podcast. So you might not have seen any of the podcast. We'll go back to the one from Hannah and we'll type that in as well. So I work in that space. Instead of meetup, let's call it podcast. That would have been relevant for me. And let's just see, what does the AI come up with? And there's a couple of things here. So practical applications, legal frameworks, foundational frameworks, the intersection of technology and finance. So how to discuss the intersection of new technologies. So let's highlight that and let's dive into that more. So tell me more about that part. And here we go. So you get more and more details there. So really interesting stuff. This is just the basics that are there on the free part of the website, because that is something that we are going to be working on in more detail for members. But in the meantime, definitely come check it out. It will be launched in a few days. So you're getting a nice little preview. Cheers.